Hello and welcome to Pearls and Grace. I pray that everyone is doing well out there. I pray that you all are warm and that you all are safe. Please remember to say some prayers for LA and everyone that's facing storms and all the homeless and all the children out there in the world. Just make sure while you're praying for yourself and your family that you include the needs of others as well, okay? So, and I do want to apologize. I do have the sniffle, so I do have a handkerchief here. So I wanted to apologize in advance for that. But today's video is going to be an emergency preparedness video. So I was walking through, I was gonna say Dollar Tree, not Dollar Tree. I was walking through Goodwill and this book was just sitting out. Like it was meant for me to pick it up. So this book is entitled Darkest Days, and it is how to survive a EMP attack to the grid. So I knew immediately I had to get this book. It is a spiral bound book, and so this book has a wealth of knowledge in here. I am so impressed. I am so grateful that I was able to find this book. And I wasn't even looking for a book. It was literally just sitting out. I don't even think I found it near the books. It was just sitting out like for me to see. And so I felt like I definitely needed to share this with you all, because I do believe there eventually will be some things that happen to our power grid. I do have a video where I discuss that in a little bit more detail, where I featured this little book here entitled What to Do When the Power Fails. It's a revised and updated version, and it's just a small read, but this one also has a lot of knowledge to it, and I will link the video to this book below in the description section as well as the comment section. So please make sure that you're looking there for additional information. But this book, Darkest Days, I wanted to go over, I'm not going to go over everything in here because as you can see, it's a pretty, it's not too thick, but it has a lot of info in there. And I wanted to just go over it really quick and also share some supplies and things that you can get for a great deal to help you stay warm. And that's what we're focusing on, because it is the winter time and there's possible grid downs, grid attacks, power failures, storms that are knocking the power out, just so many things that could go wrong. And the last thing we want is to be cold and left in the dark. So at the end, I'm going to go over some things that I have found. I'm not going to feature them in the video. I'm just going to kind of discuss, because in the other video you can see some of the supplies and things that I have found at Dollar Tree that can help keep you and your family warm and provide light during dark days. Okay, so the book starts out and it's in different it goes into telling exactly what a EMP is first. Then it says preparation is the key, and it talks about the basics, and it goes into how to make your energy, how to do food production as well as storage. It also goes over different fuels like that you should have on hand to make your own energy. Kerosene, propane, oil, which is one of my favorite things to have, and just some emergency backup lighting, indoor and outdoor. It goes over food production and storage, growing your own food, hunting, trapping, canning, and preserving food, and how to cook without a stove, which I thought was very, very, very beneficial. And then how to turn your home into the perfect shelter for when destruction strikes. And we know that in LA's situation, you know, it's just a very sad situation. But I just wanted to go over some of these. And it also talks about safety as well as some self-defense, firearms, and it's certain words that I don't think I can say on here. So and then it also talks about some communication that you should have during when the grid is down, because, you know, 9 times out of 10 your cell phone is not going to work. So what lines of communication will you have open to communicate with your family, with your loved ones? Okay, so it does go over that. It goes into some bug out vehicle. So I feel like this would be just a great preparedness book to start with. I feel like it just covers everything. And this is just I'm not even going into everything that is listed on here, and it's only 176 pages, 177 pages, and it has a summary at the end. It talks about transportation, and then it also has a section in here that I am just now seeing that talks about your bug out bag, and then it talks about a fire. So I mean, when I found this book, I was just like, thank you, Most High. I know that you are watching out. I have never seen this book before, and for it to just be placed in my, you know, in the direction that I'm going, I knew I just had to get it and share it with you. So it's Darkest Days, How to Survive an Attack, an EMP attack. And I'm trying to see if there is who wrote this. I'm not sure. So I'm going to look for it, and I'm going to link it below. And it also talks about a Faraday cage, which is going to protect your electronics. I've seen videos where they are fairly easy to make, where you can store your like your cell phones and things to protect them and shield them from a EMP attack, electromagnetic pulse attack. So I just feel like this is a great book to have, as well as what to do when the power fails. And this one I got off Amazon. So, and this one here has a ton of different categories of books that you can research and find that is beneficial, especially if you are wanting to become a self-sufficient family. They have some great little tips and little pamphlets and things that will help you to get started on your journey with that. Okay, so let's go over some supplies that we should have on hand in our home right now. And with this economy and with everything that's going on, I am very much aware of money, that it is, you know, you're like, how can I add more things onto my grocery bill, or how can I, you know, just add more more supplies when I already can't pay the rent, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. So one of the things that I do is I thrift, and I go into antique stores and things like that, and I just look around for things. A few days ago, I was in need of a humidifier, and I really needed it that day. And I know you could just go to Walmart and grab one, but I really did not want to pay a Walmart price. And so I went into one of my favorite thrift stores, and there was one just sitting there waiting for me for $5. So please make sure that you're looking in all of your thrift stores, your Goodwills, especially your stores that are mission stores. Mission stores is where I have the best luck, is where I find just items that are great for survival. I would say all of my oil lamps have definitely came from mission stores. A lot of times with the mission stores, these are items there where, you know, some loved ones have passed on, maybe some grandparents. And so there's going to be a lot of old things, old way of living items that has been donated because the children just don't know the value or they're not interested. And so you can get some very good items there. So make sure you're looking out for oil lamps. Another suggestion would be, while I was watching everything that's taking place with the fires, I noticed a young lady that posted a video about how the banks were closed. And if I could find it, I'll put a snippet in here. I will put an insert of it in here. But the banks was closed and people couldn't get their money out. And, you know, they just, what do you do? You know, what do you do? And so one of the top things I highly, highly recommend is that you have cash on hand at all times. You know, you can start out by doing, I don't know, $3 a week, $5 a week, 10, whatever your budget is, keeping all your coins and then cashing them in so you can have cash that way. That is one of my favorite things to do, is get a jar, fill it up, get my coins, go cash them in, put that aside. That is one of my favorite things to do, and I think that's something that everyone can do. Just take your coins, put them in a jar at the end of the month, go cash it in. That cash that you have could be cash for your supplies, or it could be cash that you have on hand that says emergency. Okay, so that is something that I think every penny counts, every dime counts. Hey, put it all in a jar and cash it in at the end of the month or at the end of every 2 months. Okay, so cash on hand is definitely number one. Of course, food. And with food, you know, like this book said here, canning is great, but you know, canning supplies has gotten so expensive, so you may not have the supplies on hand right now to can your own foods. But I highly recommend that you buy canned goods. Go to Dollar Tree. They have a variety of soups and, you know, just quick meals and things that you can heat up that is very heat, that requires very little heat. And a lot of the canned foods, I know they're processed, but during a time where you just don't have anything, you just have to pray over it and bless it and just work with what you have. Okay, so I know that they're processed, but we're talking about emergency situations here. Okay, so you know, just if you want to just go to Dollar Tree and get 3 cans a week, that adds up so quickly. I have a video on here that's talking about a $5 a week challenge for stocking your pantry. That is something also that I recommend. And if you just don't have the extra money at this time for food, look into your churches. Make sure you are doing your research and you're looking into the churches around you, as well as organizations that can help you with your utilities, with staying warm. They may offer blankets. Also, they offer fresh foods, and they also offer canned goods. So definitely make sure also that you're checking on your senior citizens and that they're getting what they need. I know in my town back home, there was a program called Meals on Wheels that would help come out to your home and bring food to your elderly parents. So look into churches and things that provides for the shut-in, for the elderly, for the disabled. You know, even if you have an older neighbor, look into things like that that can also, you know, help them as well. So food, water, of course, is at the top of the list. Saving your your liter bottles, refilling those, that's another way. Water, the large things of water at Dollar Tree, I'll post a picture. You know, just gathering those. You can include that with your $5 a week. You may want to get 3 cans and 2 things of water. And so I know it's $1.25, so it's going to be a little bit over $5, but that will at least get you started and give you a little bit of security. So food, And please, please, please make sure I was in the store yesterday gathering things for the little bit of snow that they said that we were gonna get, but yeah, no. And I overheard someone talking about people, you know, the guy was saying, well, people just, you know, they're out getting toilet paper, milk, eggs, and all this, but nobody's thinking about canned goods. And so he's walking by and he looked at me and he say something. I said, well, you know, yes, you may have, what good is all those canned goods if you do not have can openers? And he was like, oh wow, you're right, can openers. So make sure on your run to get your canned goods that you are grabbing can openers. They have different varieties at Dollar Tree, so make sure that is something that you are getting as well. Okay, so we got lighters, batteries. Dollar Tree has a ton of different batteries. They have a whole end cap that's devoted to their battery center. So make sure you're getting those, and make sure you're getting batteries that coordinate with your flashlights, which is something else on the list. Dollar Tree does have flashlights. Family Dollar has good deals on flashlights. Also Dollar General, I saw a nice pack of flashlights in Dollar General yesterday, a 2-pack that came with extra batteries, and I think they were like $7. So make sure you're going into Dollar General and you're just looking in their section where they have like their tools and things like that. Let's see, let's talk about some different types of fuels that are cost efficient that you can have on hand that is going to help keep you warm. One of my favorite fuels that I like to get from Dollar Tree is their canned heat. It's a Sterno. It's just like the Sterno can, and it burns for 2 hours. These Sterno cans are the cans that you would use if you're doing a what is it called? If you're having a dinner and they're used to keep the food warm in your aluminum pan, those, and they do have them at Dollar Tree. So that is something that you can keep on hand, and you can get a little stove. It's a little stove, and I will show a picture of that you just place underneath the little stove, and you can heat up your soup. You know, you can do a lot of things, and it's not gonna take that much fuel, and it's gonna burn for 2 hours. Now they do have a higher end brand on Amazon. These will burn for 6 hours. I've seen for up to 4 hours. So also, and they come in like a bulk on Amazon, so make sure you look on there for those as well. Another very good tip that I found, and I am definitely going to share his video. I came across his video. I can't think of his name right now, but make sure you check out his video. He did a demonstration of rubbing alcohol. Okay, now make sure, before I forget, make sure if you're going to use these techniques that you have a window crack, or that you have also that you have your carbon monoxide monitor, so you are making sure that your family is staying safe. You do not want to be enclosed in these areas without any type of airflow. It could be very, very dangerous. Okay, so make sure you are getting your fire alarms, thank you Lord, as well as your fire extinguishers. So make sure you're checking the batteries in your fire alarms, and that you are keeping fire extinguishers close by. And if you have never used a fire extinguisher, thank God, I highly recommend that you watch a video on how to properly use a fire extinguisher. So if you're going to use these techniques, make sure that you also have these things on hand. But back to his video, he showed how to use rubbing alcohol in a tin can. And when I say tin can, you can actually use the tin can from where you have opened up your vegetables or soup or whatever you're gonna make, and you can use that can as a little stove or a little heater with alcohol, and that is going to give you another heat source as well as another cooking source. So I'm going to put his video below and let you look into it, because another thing that I have written down is that he used cotton balls as well as Vaseline, which is going to be another these two combinations are also going to give you a great fire. It's almost like a fire starter, and Vaseline is going to help it burn as well. So that is something. And he did a demonstration with vegetable oil. Okay, so vegetable oil, they have the little ones at Dollar Tree that you could just set aside along with your other fuels, your alcohol, your butane, which is another one. I highly recommend butane and the little camp oven that goes along with it, and I'll put a picture up there. These cans are going to help you get, cook your meals really, really good. And you can get a bulk of those they're not that expensive. The stove is not that expensive, so that would be something else good to have on hand. But the cotton balls and Vaseline and the vegetable oil, these are all the things that you can get at Dollar Tree that is going to be, like I said, a great for cooking food as well as keeping warm. Another item that you're also going to need, like a flat pan or something that you can sit it on top of, so it's not on your surfaces, and something that can handle fire or heat or something like that. So you just don't want to sit it on top of whatever, so make sure you get one of those aluminum pans at Dollar Tree to sit these things on. Matches, don't forget the matches. You're gonna find the matches over in the stores that I've seen. The matches is gonna be over with the kitchen supplies, so don't forget to grab your matches and your lighters. We mentioned batteries, candles. Absolutely, don't forget the candles. Dollar Tree does have emergency candles. I did see emergency candles at Family Dollar as well yesterday. So you're gonna get probably, I think, about 6 emergency candles in there. So I feel like that's a great deal for $1.25. Get a couple of packs of those. Also, they have those tall pillar candles that are in the glass jar. That is something that is good to have as well. Now, another video that I saw, because I was like, well, these candles, depending on how long the power is out, these candles are gonna burn pretty fast, some of them. And I came across a video where the individual is showing how to make a candle using Crisco or shortening. Very, very simple. And this candle is not only going to give you heat, but this candle is also going to burn for a long time. Okay, so I'm going to link that video below. It's very simple, but in order to make this candle that they're discussing in the video, you're gonna need tapered candles as well. So make sure you grab some tapered candles at Dollar Tree. I've never seen Crisco at Dollar Tree. So you're gonna have to get that somewhere else. I recommend Walmart or Family Dollar or something like that. So I will put that video below. Now, Dollar Tree has gotten in an abundance of socks. Dollar Tree is not, socks is just, if you go in there, socks are just galore in there. So make sure you're getting socks for you and your family. I did see gloves in there at the beginning, maybe last month at Dollar Tree. I did not see them the last couple of times I went in there. So in my area, they're gone. But check out Family Dollar, and see also at thrift stores. You can find some really warm hats and coats. Don't forget to look for warm wool coats as well as flannel. Flannel is going to be good to wear to keep you warm. All type of natural fabrics, but just for the winter, I highly recommend flannel. What do you call it? The long johns, that's gonna be good. And those things are very expensive now. When I saw those, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe the price of these things. So look for your long johns so that you can have layers, okay? If the power is out, you wanna have layers of clothing on, okay, to help keep you warm. So socks, hats, hand warmers. Hand warmers is another thing that you can find at Dollar Tree, so make sure you grab some of those. Also, we talked about food and water. However, when it comes to water, there is, I think I showed it in the video that I'm gonna link. There are these electrolyte powders that is in the baby section, where you would find like the baby lotion, baby wash, and all of that. There's these little electrolyte powders that has you know, and also Pedialyte that they have in the baby section at Dollar Tree, that I think would be wonderful to have on hand to keep you hydrated during the winter. Wool blankets and quilts is my favorite thing to look for when I go into the thrift stores. I love looking for quilts. As you can see back here, I love to collect quilts and wool blankets. Growing up with my grandmother, I just remember wool blankets. I do not like the way that they feel, so it's not something that I would sleep with every night, because I don't like the way that it feels. But I feel like during an emergent situation, when in the winter time, when it's cold, oh yeah, you're gonna love having a wool blanket. And a sleeping bag. I know that sleeping bags can be pricey, but I like to pray before I go into the thrift stores, and I just make my request known, and I tell God, I'm like, hey, my family needs this, and He delivers. I prayed for sleeping bags. I went in the store, and it's like someone had donated a ton of sleeping bags, and they were only $5 each, and they are very good, high quality Coleman camping sleeping bags. So in one day, I was able to get sleeping bags for every member in my family. So make sure. Also, wool socks. Like I said, I'm not a person that loves wool, not even cashmere. Sometimes I don't know, I just don't like those materials. But in a emergent situation, it's gonna be your best friend, okay? So wool blankets, sleeping bags. Now, I found 2 weighted blankets just a few days ago, and these I feel like works perfect, especially if you are a single individual. I put that blanket on, and it just felt like a hug, almost like a hug, and it just kind of traps in your, I don't know, like traps in the heat, and it's heavy, so it just, I feel like when I put the weighted blanket on top of my comforter, for some reason it just feels so much warmer. So hey, if you can find those, then hey, I highly recommend that. What else do we have here? Lanterns. Dollar Tree has lanterns, battery operated, solar lantern, not solar. They do have the little solar things that they have in the summer, but they have the lanterns that they're pretty bright. I demonstrated the luminosity of the lamp in a previous video, the one that I said where I showed about this, that's going to be linked below, so you can see how bright their lanterns are. They are pretty bright. What I did with the lanterns is I made sure I grabbed one for each room in my home, so that way, it'll be a light in every room, even when the lights are out. Dollar Tree also have the push lights. The last thing we want to do is be in the dark trying to walk through the house and you know, hit something or fall, and then there you have a bigger problem. So just having push light in very dark areas in your home that you know you're very familiar with, that you can push when the power is out to give you that light to help keep you safe and your family safe while walking through the house, I highly recommend push lights. Okay, and you can also, don't forget to look in the Dollar Tree Plus section because they do have some of them there. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention dryer lint. Save your dryer lint. I know it could be disgusting, but dryer lint is one of the best fire starters that I have used. I just save mine, you know, put it in a pretty little bag if you want to, so that way you're not, you know, having to look at it or whatever. But I save my dryer lint, and when I tell you, when I use my burn barrel outside to get that fire going and staying very strong, dryer lint is one of my top recommendations to save. I think that's all I have here for Dollar Tree. Another thing, of course, that you're not gonna find at Dollar Tree, but I just thought about this the other day when I saw my maintenance guy, is that make sure you are getting your pipes checked and checking to see if they're insulated. During the couple of months ago, we had the energy company come around and they offered, now this may be something that is in your area as well. Our energy company came around to every home, and they had this program of where they had received a grant and they had to give back to the community. So they were insulating your home for free. So they did some installation underneath my home. They came in and they changed out, what do you call it? The sinks, the nozzles on the sinks. They changed out shower heads, and all of this was done completely free to make your house a little bit more energy sufficient. So I would definitely call your energy company. Also, with your energy company, call them to check and see if there's like budget billing that you can do if you're, you know, having a hard time with that. Call and get recommendations for them about how to insulate your house and how to stay warm. Another thing that I thought about is that when I was little, we lived in old houses, and I mean, these houses were so old and just drafty, should I say. And so one of the things that my grandmother and my grandpa would do is they would buy plastic, and they would put this plastic over the windows, and it would help keep the inside warm, because I don't remember having blackout curtains. I don't know. I'm sure they existed, but I don't remember having those. We may have, I'm not sure, but she would always put plastic over the window to help keep it warm. The thing about the plastic that my grandmother and my grandfather used is that you couldn't see through it. So I did not like that as a safety, that you couldn't really see through it. So I had the idea in the Dollar Tree section. Let me grab it. They have these shower curtains, shower liners, and these right here are a decent quality, and I want you to see how they're large. So I feel like if you have smaller windows, these are gonna help cover your window. But I thought of this idea and I shared it with my mom, and she was like, wow, that's a good idea. Now I want you to see how clear this plastic is. You see that? You can still see me through this plastic. It is a sturdy plastic, and you can put this over your window and you can still see out of your window. So I highly recommend just grabbing a few of these to place over your windows. But you know, if you have smaller windows, you could probably use one for several windows. So I thought that this was a great idea. I'm gonna put this over my windows, and I like the fact that I can still, even though there's an extra layer of insulation, you can still see out of your window. And nowadays I know we have cameras and everything that you can, you know, you can see through the cameras and stuff like that. But I just thought for those that don't, this is a great alternative. You can get these, and I like to use the clear push pins in the school section, and you could just put them up so you're not having to put nails and things in your wall. Just get the clear push pins. It's only for the winter time. It may not be aesthetically pleasing, but your focus should be staying warm and keeping your family warm, okay? And then no one's gonna see it because, you know, you're probably gonna have your drapes pulled anyway, so closed, so no one's gonna see it. But get the push pins, the clear push pins, tack it up on the window as neat as possible. Now, Dollar Tree did used to have these shrink plastics that you put on the window as well. They used to have the kits. I have not seen those, but they may have them in your area, so that's something else that you can look out for. If they don't, you know, you can always get the window shrink plastic kit on Amazon or something like that. But we're trying to find ways to make it a little bit more frugal, okay? Especially if you have a lot of windows to do, those kits can be a little bit pricey, and they're gonna require a lot more work, okay? Soups and teas. Make sure you are keeping soups on hand. Soups, I can't recommend that. Lots of soups on hand, teas on hand. Don't forget to go through their medicine section, their vitamin section, and make sure you're getting things for your immune system. And I want to say that is it. Let me go down through here. Yes, that is all that I have. If you have any other suggestions of energy sufficient ways and very frugal ways to help keep someone safe in the winter, please, please, please make sure that you are making a comment in the comment section, because there could be some things that I forgot at Dollar Tree. Oh, I do want to mention, you will find the canned heat at Dollar Tree in the party section. So where they have the party napkins and tablecloths and things like that, that is going to be where you will find the canned heat. And of course, the rubbing alcohol is going to be in your beauty care section or your first aid section. And the Vaseline is also going to be there. Now, no, the Vaseline is going to be in the baby section. And then the cotton balls is going to be in the beauty section. And the shower curtains. These shower curtains, I have found them in the section where the organizers are. So, yeah. Also, weather radios, which you're not going to find that at Dollar Tree that I have seen, but you can find them on Amazon. I don't know about Family Dollar. Definitely, I'm sure you can find them on Walmart, and also you can find them in your thrift stores and antique shops sometimes as well. So don't forget those. Talk to your fire department. Go, if you can't afford some of these things, go to your fire department and see what they offer. They may have weather radios, fire extinguishers, carbon monoxide monitors. These are some things, or they may have suggestions. So make sure you just stop by your fire department. Some things you may not even have to pay for. Okay, so stop by your fire department, get in touch with your local food pantries, your local churches and organizations, and that way that'll give you a little bit more leeway to where you can pay for other things. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.